Good morning. Welcome to another episode of the Electric Bison. I was spent a lot of time yesterday just sorting out what had happened, really happened beneath the scenes. Not just with the letter that the attorneys wrote saying that the Democrat Party really didn't have to appoint a replacement for Alani Bankhead should she ever decide to step down in favor of Seth Bodnar, so Seth Bodnar could get elected. I thought about that. There was a lot of great people involved with that, and I read through the analysis that it's probably correct. I can see where in a real worst case scenario, a majority of the party responsible for selecting a replacement might not agree, and if they can't agree, too bad. Well, pretty strained analysis, wouldn't you say, if you've read it? But still, a lot of work was put into it. I don't know if the people who signed it actually wrote that piece, but what it told me was that a lot of work's been done on using what's called Grasstops campaign management. Grasstops is not grassroots. Grassroots is when we all get together and decide to throw the rascals out. Grasstops is a hub and spoke concept that's been used in political campaigning. Professional political campaigners use it all the time. And what it is the people that run the campaign, they reach out and personally connect with people and then build kind of a appearance of a wave of support. Reach out, talk to John Tester. Reach out, talk to Max Baucus. Reach out, talk to Mark Roscoe. Great people, but each in their own are drawn into a process that makes it look like there's a whole lot of other people, since they're influential people. But really what it is a top-down process to create an impression of something that never existed. And so top-down or Grasstops campaigning is a real effective tool of creating the impression of something that doesn't exist. And then you can use it to reach out to groups of attorneys. You can reach out to groups of legislators, which is what I'm sure would happen when this letter suddenly appeared by concerned Democrats saying that there needs to be a decision made, and that either Seth Bodnar or Alani Bankhead need to drop out. And of course, to me, it's real obvious that Alani Bankhead was selected by the Democrat Party, and the guy that needs to drop out is a guy that shouldn't be running in the first place, Seth Bodnar. I've said my piece about that. The thing about the attorneys coming up with a conclusion that it's may instead of must appoint a replacement is to help Seth Bodnar put continuing pressure on Alani Bankhead to make her pull out. I think it's really alarming that a group of people did that without, they wouldn't be doing it if Alani Bankhead was the independent. They wouldn't be doing it if I was the independent. They did it because Seth Bodnar has a Grasstops campaign. And the campaign, the guy that's really good at it is a guy named Jim Messina. He's been very effective at managing campaigns. Some people are good at that sort of thing. And so I want to talk for a minute about what's really going on here. Because when I was back in the Bitterroot over the weekend, we were reading some stuff our mother left for us. And she always used to tell me when I was in politics, are you still honest? She would always ask that. I'd come home and the first question out of her mouth. I'd say, yeah, Mom, I'm still honest. Well, it's not a foolish question, because lying is terrible in politics. And white lies, they happen, and there's a great gradation to happen. Nobody's perfect, but the lying that's going on now is really atrocious. And the lying that these guys are doing compared to the lying that Trump's been doing seems innocuous, but it's lying. And the first lie is that Seth Bodnar's an independent. Well, Seth Bodnar has a long relationship with Jim Messina. Jim Messina was on Barack Obama's staff in the White House. Jim Messina was on Max Baucus' staff. Jim Messina was working for Seth Bodnar when he was president of the University of Montana. Jim Messina has a relationship with Seth Bodnar's family. You know, and that's hardcore Democrat. Now, if there's a center to the Democratic Party, the ones that just get people elected, it's those guys. And for them to come out with a campaign saying they're independent and they're against those big bad Democrats, that's a lie. That's truly a lie. And then when you add to that the Grasstops campaigning to make it look like all these influential Democrats support this guy, and therefore other Democrats better follow. And then the Grasstops campaign using legislators to force a decision, using attorneys to say that if Alani steps down, there's no need for a replacement. It's open season for Seth Bodnar to step in. Those are all lies. They're lies. L-I-E, lies. They're no different from the lies that the guy we have for president does all the time. You know, when I was working on that story to do with the Battle of the Bulge in the those Montanans that were in it, one of the things that became real obvious was that Adolf Hitler and his top people, they used lies all the time because they felt that it was a good way to defeat democracy. And if we don't have truthhood, you know, truth, we can't trust what each other say. We don't have anything. So it's very damaging, very damaging. But here's the thing, and this is to all the people that are friends of mine and family over on the MAGA side that were lied into voting for Trump. And you can see, what's the word, conditioned to accept falsehoods. You know, the worst thing you can do is lie to yourself. And I guess I've been lying to myself that the Democrats are that great because they're lying like a rug too. It's terrible, isn't it? It's really terrible. But here's the thing: you don't have to believe me. Just ask a couple of modest questions of your Chat GPT, your Claude, or whatever it is you're using for AI, if you use it, or talk to a friend that you trust. What is the technique used by Jeffrey Epstein to put young women into a corner where they felt they had no support and there was nothing left to do but what he wanted them to do? Well, it's top down. It's grassroots, top down, hug and spoke social interaction. He would use the same top down grass top campaigning on these women to trap them. Now, I find myself really hopeful. I hope she can do it. She's in a tough position. But as this strategy closes in on Alani Bankhead and on us, because she's representing the rest of us, our right to vote for who we want. As the strategy closes in on her, I hope she has a way that she's learned when she was a lieutenant colonel, working with working to convict sexual predators. I hope she has a way that she could see to kick these people in the teeth. I know she has the capability of saying, no, to hell with you, I'm not going to quit. Are you kidding me? And I really think she won't quit. But it'll bring us down to the final line where Seth Bodnar is going to try to make her look like she's the selfish person, you know, sacrificing Montana, sacrificing our country by foregoing the chance to have senators that speak for us. It's a heck of a state of affairs, isn't it? And it's all about lying. It's about congressmen and senators who said they're going to represent us and they haven't. It's about a president who lies constantly. You know, I mean, this new heart drug that just came out from his administration, the first words out of my brother's mouth, and he got a three-way bypass a couple days behind me, was he wouldn't take it because it's probably out so Trump can have it. I mean, these guys are just the worst. But the Democrats are right up there with them, at least some Democrats. So I'm asking those of you who are libertarians and who are Democrats and who are Republicans and who are independents to think about the lying that's been going on. And this is, call it what it is. They're lying. Can't have that. Thanks.